main site of Metroid Construction continues to undergo improvement, and currently there are a list of hacks and resources being added to the main site. The hacks page has been advanced a lot further from the last update. As you can see now, multiple hacks have been getting reviews, and once a hack reaches a minimum of 3 reviews, a rating is placed on the main site. As you can see, still a lot pending, but a lot of others also currently have ratings right now as members have been reviewing them. So a lot of fun stuff going on with the main site. You can also choose your filters how you want. Check off whatever you want. That way you can find it easier to find a hack of a certain game. If you're looking for Nestroid hacks, maybe some fusion hacks, anything like that, you can check those off. You can even check off the types of categories, and then it'll bring up the list that fits within those filters. And then on the hacks page itself with the reviews, it offers a lot of information. Basically, people can write about their experience with the hack and rate it. And as you can see, none of these have completion stats. If they do end up with completion stats, it will show up at the top, show an average of everything. As you can see up here, it has an average time in percent. Of course, this one is only grabbed from 1 review, so that's the average for the hack. Once more reviews go up, and those are entered, there will be more on the page up top. Also, it's the resource page, so we've got lots of different resources going up. Again, mostly for Super Metroid, but there are some others listed in there as well. And again, the filters still apply here. So the ROM map, the data map, still being worked on. I was asked to plug the wiki as well. There were a couple things, the wiki and SparkConst. But the wiki has been seeing a lot of attention lately. It's been getting a lot of stuff added to it. They're still looking, obviously, for more information, more general stuff, just to get that put into the wiki, so that more of that is up there for later. And then there's also the Spark Construction, or SparkConst. This is basically a leaderboard for speedrunning hacks. So you can see not much up here right now, but it is up and live. If you speedrun a hack, you can submit that, add it in. So you can see there are multiple people who have speedrun Stardust, so their times are up there. So it's just sort of a leaderboard. You can keep track basically of where you're at with that. So a lot of really fun stuff going on with the main site. It is still in beta, but it is quickly getting closer to completion and will soon replace the current main site. Smile User 96 has been working on a rotation hack. Basically, he is planning to flip Zebes on its side, quite literally. It is going to rotate the planet 90 degrees entirely. So as you can see from some footage he has posted up, it is going to change the game massively. There's going to be a lot different feel to it. The gameplay is going to be much different, just because your hallways are now vertical shafts, of which there were a lot of hallways in the original, so there's going to be a lot of vertical shafts now in this. So, and obviously in some rooms, it's going to change a whole bunch of trajectories, where you can go, what you can do. It's definitely going to require a lot more wall jumping. It has the added benefit of making Spore Spawn skip much easier. But again, the rest of the hack is going to be very, very strange to play through, but it still looks to be quite an experience. There is no ETA on this as of yet, and there also isn't really any plans to rotate enemies or bosses totally. I believe he has plans to maybe rotate Crocomire. Other than that, it looks mostly to be just a hack where the tiles are rotated 90 degrees. As you can see, it's definitely going to create quite an interesting experience. So while there's no dates on this yet, it is something to look forward to in the future. Retro Knuckles is currently working on a Super Metroid hack. There is not much information about this as of yet. It is still in pretty early stages, and there really isn't a name as of yet. The information he did give me, besides the few screenshots, was that he's based it visually off of Volta. So again, this is a hack in the works, and we will probably be hearing more about this in the next few months. Cloud 15 is currently working on a hack named Equinox that is going to take place in story in the near aftermath of Darkholme Hospital. The story revolves around Samus being committed into a mental hospital after the case on Darkholme Hospital and being betrayed by the Galactic Federation as to what happened there. No gameplay footage as of yet. He does have a few things listed that the hack will have, including 2 main enemies bosses instead of 1. It will mainly be in black and white, as you can see from the screenshots. The items to collect will be chess pieces, including a new one called Black/White Cardinal. And it's going to be coming at some point. No release date as of yet, but Cloud is working away on Equinox. The Monster of Cerealton is currently working on a spoof hack of Super Metroid named Super Metroid So Much Hell. As the name implies, it is supposed to be designed to give the player a terrible time, as it is basically a spoof of every bad half hack out there. So you can see there's spikes everywhere, a lot of use of red to call back to red criteria. There's a lot of scrolling sky in places that shouldn't be, more spikes, and basically a bunch of really bad design decisions. This hack has no release date as of yet, but Monster is still working on it. He's really not sure any time with a date or anything, but he certainly hopes that people give it a try and at least get a laugh out of it when it is released. Biospark is continuing his work on making a Metroid Fusion editor, and during his work he has found some unused enemies, including Screes here, which have a new ability to burrow and then unburrow out of the ground, and these Gigas, which both these enemies are sort of callbacks to Super Metroid. This next enemy, I am not sure exactly what it is, but it's in the ROM and it exists, so there's that. He has also discovered some unused rooms, and of course among these unused rooms in the game is a debug room where they have all the different block types and properties placed so that they could test everything out with that. So some very interesting stuff going on with the fusion hacking scene. Biospark is still working on the editor. There hasn't been any news of a release date for it as of yet, but he is still working on it, and hopefully we will be seeing a fusion editor coming soon, and hopefully along with that we'll be seeing a lot of really cool fusion hacks start to show up with this editor. The Monster of Cerealton is also currently working on a Nestroid hack. This is known as Metroid in Cerealton. He plans to use a lot of the screen warping capabilities of Nestroid as a feature in this hack. So a lot of going from one side of the screen being warped to the other side of the screen, sort of being wrapped around like that. Otherwise, it doesn't have that much information about the hack as of yet, and no real release date for it either. But it is also being worked on, and also slightly more serious than his other Super Metroid endeavor that is currently in the works. And in the final bit of Nestroid news this month, Grimlock is working on a hack named Rogue Dawn, which has been pushing the editor to its limits, so much so that Snarfblam, the creator of Editroid, which is the Nestroid editor, has had to redo some things and work on some new stuff so that new features could be added into Rogue Dawn. And Snarf seems very excited for this hack. I'm excited for it as well. It's looking to push a lot of things that Nestroid couldn't do before, which is obviously why new features are needed with the editor. So while Snarfblam has been working on that, Grimlock has been working on this hack. As you can see, a lot of different tile sets have been put in, a lot of custom graphics. There's some new ASM, little bits in the videos that show off a healing tile, which for everyone who hates the start with 30 energy thing, that is going to cure that for you, because you can sit on this tile, get your energy refilled. So that is a very nifty little feature. I imagine that will come in handy for quite a few players. There's also wall jumping in this hack, which wall jumping in Metroid isn't a new thing, but it's the first time I can remember seeing it in a hack of the game, so that is interesting. It also has what appears to be you starting out in a ship that lands on a planet, and then Samus is supposed to go in and defeat the Metroids on that planet. And it looks like the ship is loaded with all kinds of stuff, the armory, the save stations. The sick bay here is where that healing tile is. So by standing on that, you can see the energy filling up in the left corner. So again, that is going to be a very useful little thing, because I know a lot of players are not fond of starting with 30 energy, especially after they die. So really looking forward to this hack. A lot of really interesting things. And there is no release date for it as of yet, but Grimlock and Snarf are both working on taking this and finishing it as soon as possible. So we're hoping for release this year, but that may not happen just based on the scale of the hack. And that is all the news for the update this month. Tune in next month as we will continue to uncover all the information that is going on behind the scenes at Metroid Construction, discover some new hacks being made, and what's going on with some hacks that have been in works for a little bit longer. So make sure to tune in next month.